We're going to look at this from a side-by-side view because I think it's most helpful. I'm also modify this axis here as well because I want to make sure that you can see what I'm looking at here. So Slim has added in this overall 18,000 target. We have just basically hit that target, and then a possible target then below that of 13.6. That level comes in on this next corrective period, which is only due later towards the end of the year. Okay, so that's where that 13,000 target really comes into play. If we look at this chart right here on the daily, this minor cycle low form right there, then we got a rally. If you want to draw your fibs right there, you can see the levels. It fell right at that 61.8 and gave you a sharp failure. Now what's happening is we're late in this dominant cycle. As we've mentioned, late in cycles, low odds that rallies will hold. So if this were to get a little uptick here, it'll likely fail quickly and then sell off one more time with that next low due around the first week of October. That's what the highest odds are right now. So that's what we have our eyes on. In terms of our levels, we're going to draw that from the minor cycle high so we can see where we can rally up into. And that zone from around 20,000 to around 21,140, we really wouldn't want to see it through that at this point. So that zone is where we would look for this to fail, then for this to roll over one more time. As we've added in here, there are levels on the downside from 17,560 to around 16,120 or so. So that's what we'd be looking for on this last corrective move of this big dominant cycle right there. So to draw it in, a little flag, failure in the zone that I mentioned, and then for this to sell off again one more time into that early part of October timing, after which we get likely another rally and then a failure again. If we look at this dominant cycle right here, get my pointer so we can see when that next dominant low forms. That next dominant low is due ideally around 1210. That will sync up with this cycle right here, which is this black dominant cycle. That's where we see decent odds of a move down to that 13.6 if this ends up trading like we have drawn in. A sell-off right here, another little rally that then fails again, then that 13.6 is certainly on radar. So this is the overall picture here in Bitcoin, a sick market, and certainly favoring the short side still for a likely one more move down in the short term.